No, yesterday we had a really good stream going about being active and how to get active and all of that jazz, the importance of being active. So if you did miss yesterday's conversation, I greatly I influence you to please go back and watch yesterday's YouTube video. If you do watch the YouTube videos, if you're looking at how to find them, just go to YouTube and search Kingdom of Blingnum. You should find any of the live videos there that we've done and that are broadcasting like this here. You can watch them. They're available for replay. You can like them, subscribe to the channel, and even comment on them. And I will come back and answer comments to those. So with that being said, I want to welcome everybody, Samantha, and we have Tony and Michelle and Felicia, Sarah, Stacy, Crystal. I appreciate all you guys coming in here. Does anyone know how to do TikTok? Not making videos, but setting up with the bio with the links. I personally don't do anything with TikTok, but I think that there are people in the groups that do TikTok. What I would suggest, Tony, is to go into somewhere like Elite Blingers, where there's quite a few of the people. And I would just put a post in there saying, is anybody familiar with TikTok and might be able to help me set up my account? And I think that people will probably be able to respond to you there and also be able to help out. I think that would be the best place to get that TikTok advice. Unless anybody in here works TikTok and can help her out with that at all. I don't think so. So
I couldn't hear you quick enough, Chris. I'm sorry. I mean, what do you mean by setting up your bio? Like editing your profile, or I don't like more specifically, I guess, because I do a little bit on TikTok. I just made some sales on there today.
Well, I think she's trying to add her link to her pages, her Facebook pages and her website, things like that, those kind of links. I think she's trying to add them to her TikTok, but I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I know that there's also a difference between personal TikTok. I
just downloaded an app of TikTok. Yeah, I have the regular app from the TikTok in my phone. I just downloaded from Google.
Yeah, having the app is probably a good step, but being able to add the links to it, I'm not exactly sure how you would add that to your profile. So I'm sorry, I can't be much help on that one. I have a TikTok that I set up that I use just to view other people, but I don't have anything in it.
I'm still figuring it out.
What's great though is that the more people that you follow,
I don't have nothing in it either. I'm still learning.
The more people that you follow on TikTok, though, the more that will follow you back. Like I don't have one video on my thing, but I have like 100 followers or something. Because I go and I follow people and then they turn around and follow me back. They're really good about that.
There's probably a YouTube video that instructs you on that.
Yeah, I haven't.
So what's everybody got planned for this weekend? Anybody have anything special that they're doing over this weekend? And anything that's going to have you or your teams driven to, place orders over the weekend? I know that the weekends are the slowest time when we're looking for ranks and achievements and looking for those OV points. So it's really important that we do what we can to try to make sure that we keep things moving on those days as well. Those are really, really, really good catch-up days. If you guys follow the daily dashboards that I was posting them, but I didn't I didn't do them for July this month because I did them 3 times and the numbers were all wrong, and I gave up and was kind of ticked off about it. So we have another source that Marissa's been going and pulling them from, so that I didn't have to deal with it this month. But those daily dashboard numbers, they give you the OV of where you should be for the rank that you want to be, right? So even if you're just a director, and you want to hit that premier director, it tells you where your numbers should be at for right now. So the biggest flaw in that system is that without new releases on Saturdays and Sundays, oftentimes the back office trickles. It slows down. People don't order from the back office as much. But what we know as leaders is that the back office still needs to maintain a regular flow throughout even the weekend, so that way we can also make sure that the back office is selling out of product. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not. No, I don't, buddy. No. My mom took it the other day. What was I talking about? Oh, so when the back office trickles, what we need to do is we still every piece of jewelry that sells out of the back office over the weekend will be plugged with a new piece of jewelry. So we want a really hot hit Monday. The back office needs to sell out of pieces on Saturdays and Sundays as well, right? The more pieces that go through that back office, the more open slots that are available for the new pieces. Like Paparazzi, the way I understand it, is they stock an amount of pieces and that's it. Like once they get stocked to so many designs, that's where they stop their feed. And so every time a piece gets out and it's used up and the spot comes open, something else goes in to fill that spot. Does that make sense? There's only so many spots. So where I'm going with this is that it's really important that we continue to make sure that we maintain those sales over the weekend so that we can get those new releases dropping on Monday and get more and more of them. I think we might have just lost Crystal for a minute. Hello, Miss Samantha. Welcome back. How are you?
Busy, always busy.
Oh, that's a good thing though, right? Idle hands are the devil's playground. So at least this way you're keeping yourself in faith.
Well, got a wedding tomorrow that I'm helping with the last few minute things. See gunshot candles.
Oh, there you go.
Gunshot shells, and then me and Becky filled them, and now I'm cleaning them off so they look presentable for gifts tomorrow.
And who's the bride?
My friend Christy.
Ah, gotcha. Well, did you take advantage and get her set up with a Z piece for her beautiful wedding dress and get her to get all of her bridesmaids jewelry through you and all that kind of jazz?
She already had it.
Well, at least now you get it on the next one.
Yep, I already, well, when I got my box the other day, she had come over and she was like, okay, I'll take this one and this one. And
all right.
She gets like one of my first customers to look at what they want from the box.
Heck yeah, those parties are fun though. Doing something like a bling in the bride.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those and here's the thing: if you guys are ever wanting to get a host party or birthday parties, take a look at your birthday list. And every day you get the feed that tells you who's your birthdays in Facebook. Well, look in advance of whose birthdays are coming up over the next week or the next 2 weeks. And pick somebody that's in there and offer to throw them a birthday party. Tell them that the more people that come to their party and order free jewelry, they get they earn free jewelry for their birthday. So have people come support your birthday party by coming in and having a live party and earn some free pieces.
Okay.
So just a thought, since we're on the topic of making events and being able to think outside the box, there's something for you.
Right. Do we ever do parties? I see that there's like a party our website. Can I make parties like in the back office and like a specific party for certain somebody or?
For sure. That's what those are for.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go figure that out.
Basically you're registering them as a customer and as a, basically like they get a consultant ID with an extra number. And so anybody that purchased through that party gets, all the rewards go to that consultant ID that's created and yours. So that it's all done through the back office. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never done a back office party, so I can't be much help there, but there is a lot of training on it. Especially if you go to the dorks, what is it? Drive-ins and
drive-ins
dives
and dorks or something like dorks, drive-ins and dives.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then, right?
Yeah.
So if you go there and check them out, there's often videos in there that will help you do a back office party. Maybe, and I don't know, maybe Stacy might even have done a back office party. I'm not exactly sure. Have you ever done that, Stacy?
Yeah, I have done a couple. They were very unsuccessful for me. Doesn't mean I won't ever try it again. Doesn't mean that it's not good. Just the few times that I had tried it, they just didn't seem to work out well. I do really good with hostess parties during my lives.
Right.
Really successful, but like the actual, like the shopping, like that kind of thing have not been.
And what I've been told about that, and that's the reason why I stay away from them, is because I've been told that they are difficult to kind of manipulate until once you get them figured out, though, and you understand how they work really well and you learn the ins and outs of them. I hear that there's nothing better. But it's that learning curve that sometimes can make it more and more difficult for some people, because I mean there are benefits to having a back office party, but for me, I'm just a simple kind of person, so I think hostess parties are just fine with me too. Right? Set up an event in your do you do your hostess parties, Stacy? Do you do them on any kind of like an event page or in your VIP group, or do you just mix them with your standard lives that you're doing now?
So I'll advertise for hostesses. I call them the jewel of the night in my VIP page. And then I create a private event like a week leading up to it where people, I kind of let them know what's going to happen. I let them know what paparazzi is. I try to make some interaction. I tell the hostess that, of course, her party's only going to be as successful as her excitement shows, because it's really, they don't know me, they know her. So or him, but they, so they need to be the excited ones. So we try to get the engagement that way, that whole week leading up. And then they just join my regularly scheduled live, but I make it a big deal to have the jewel of the night, our focus. I print out a picture of them. Sometimes I pin it to my mannequin, or like I hold it up and just do like fun stuff. I let them choose the music that we listen to. So kind of theme it around to maybe pieces that they want to see. And then I do a trivia game based on questions about them. But I make it to where it's multiple choice so everybody can try to play and win. But obviously, like their friends and family are going to really know the answers to it and probably answer faster than somebody else. So I just try to make it fun for the hostess.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I think that that's probably the way, like my thought for what, we want to start building some hostess parties ourselves. So what I'm planning on doing is in our VIP group, setting up an event for the person that's the host. And I plan on doing a lot of what you're talking about there. I think one of the biggest things that I'm going to try to relay to them is exactly what you just said. And I love that you said it, is that making sure that they realize how big of a part they play in the hostess party. And that if they have a goal of how many pieces that they'd like to earn through that hostess party, it that expectation alone right at the beginning is it's helpful, I think, because if I ask them how many pieces do you want to earn, and they say, oh well, I'd like to earn 5 or 10 or whatever, but then you can break it down for them and tell them exactly how many pieces that it's going to take to get to that, right? Sometimes they don't picture the big end picture. They think, oh well, 10 pieces, it shouldn't take much to get 10 pieces. Well, it actually takes a lot more than you think, if you consider that means we have to sell 100 pieces. We don't necessarily sell 100 pieces in every show. So
Yeah.
Oh, Marissa says she's in. Oh, there she is. Okay. So yeah, it's not so easy to sell 100 pieces in a show, but if they know that we have to sell 100 pieces, then that makes them more apt to invite enough people to get those 100 pieces sold, right? And like Stacy's saying, making sure that those people know that, these are your family, these are your friends. They're going to trust you, they're going to believe you, they're going to listen to you before they're ever going to hear a word I say, right? Like I'm just the one collecting their money and giving them goods, and nobody trusts that person, right? So we want to make sure that when you're doing those host parties, that that person is involved and that person is making posts, even if you're making posts for them, saying, hey, why don't you post this in the party and see how many people respond to it, right? Build that interaction and build that kind of connection with them there. And I think, like, personally, what I want to do, and when I host an event on an event page like that, is it doesn't hurt to go live in that event page once in a while up to the day of the event and introduce yourself, or even do an opportunity live or a my why live, and do those in the event and let people know, hey, I appreciate all of you that are supporting, let's say, Jamie. Supporting Jamie in her hostess party here. She's having a birthday and she's asked y'all to come celebrate. We want to see how much jewelry we can dress her up in. So I appreciate all of you coming in here and joining this. And then later on, you can do another one like, hey guys, I just wanted to, mention that we had new releases come out today. These are some of the new releases that are available. Feel free to claim any of them, and we can make sure that Jamie's getting credit for any of the claims that are made today. And you can go back in and do another one, and the day of the event, like I said, you can get an opportunity event in there and go. And it doesn't have to be scheduled. It doesn't even have to be announced. The people will see it, and they can watch the replays if they don't watch the lives. Don't worry about viewer accounts, but just say, Jamie's asked me to do this party. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So me and my wife, we sell paparazzi jewelry. We started because of this reason. We've been here this long. We've done these things. We've seen these things happen. And, I want to make that available to any of you. I'd like you all to be a part of our family. Come shop with us as often as you like. Woo, woo, woo. And then later on that day, you can get in and actually do the event. So you can take a host party, and even though there's, you may have a week to 10 days or so to build up that audience, you could still use that time to build the relationships with all of those people, so that if all else fails, if the party is successful, that may lead Jamie to decide to become a consultant as well when she sees that all of her friends and family were buying jewelry, right? And if not, at least some of those people may stay on and nibble more of your bling, because they liked your personality, they enjoyed your party, and who knows, maybe some of them will sign up for a party or even become a consultant as well. So like the hostess parties really are a big bang shoot. They're if you work a hostess party and all of the avenues that are available, and not, I don't want to say be lazy, because sometimes it's not necessarily lazy, it's just not thinking outside the box necessarily, not realizing that there's more that you could possibly do to make those things excitable. But it's more than just setting up a party saying, okay, now invite everybody and now let's do a live. You know, if you put a little bit of extra effort into it and a little bit more invested time into those people throughout that period, you're gonna see more sales. Just my opinion. Anybody have any thoughts on that or anything to add? You have a thought?
Hi guys, just wanted to pop in and say hi. I'm here, I'm listening.
Oh, I didn't know that. So Sarah tells me, and I didn't know this because, see, Marissa and I and Sarah, like, we have history of making money other ways than paparazzi before this, right? And it wasn't nothing big or anything like that. It wasn't like this paparazzi deal. So I had already known who Marissa and Andre were when Sarah had brought up this idea to get involved in this paparazzi thing. But I didn't know that Sarah was actually invited to Marissa's live through somebody that invited her to one of Marissa's parties. And if it hadn't have been for that hostess party, we may not be where we're at right now. So I did not know that this all started from a hostess party.
Yes, and that really, when you hear like people say that hostesses are the blood of your business, that's 100% factual, because even if your hostess isn't amazing, I've had hostesses that weren't that great, but then they could bring in just one person, and then that one person can end up being your next teammate, can be your, forever customer. So if you're not trying to book those hostesses, then you're going to have a struggle with getting new customers and continuously getting new customers. And look at what a great consultants we've gotten from that with Chris and Sarah. Like if I wouldn't have had that hostess party, which I know which one it was, so I know the hostess wasn't amazing, but guess what? Look at what I got out of that. So absolutely integrate hostesses into your schedules. If you don't have them booked for July, start working on that now. In the beginning of August, a lot of kids start to go back to school. So there's going to be, moms that are, hey, let's host a party. And you can do it in home or online, you guys. Stacy did thinking of in person, Stacy did an amazing
driveway party.
Yes, you guys. And that was like COVID friendly, still was, everybody spaced apart, but thinking outside of the box and doing things like that is going to make a big difference too. What if she had a hostess? What if she said, hey, my neighbor Sally 2 doors down, she's going to be our hostess and we're going to do this outside, like it's really thinking outside of that box with those hostesses as well. That'll go a long way.
And I just want to add that, like, if you guys hadn't seen that video, I encourage you to take a look at Stacy Bennett's profile and look at that video. She, I think it was brilliant, right? She had people in lawn chairs out in the driveway. She had her garage door open. She had all of her jewelry set up, right? And she had actually a wired microphone and speaker system so that people can hear her.
I was trying to be Oprah.
Dude, and you know what, Stacy? I think it was absolutely brilliant, because not only those people that were there in the driveway that knew you were selling and looking your professional part and playing that role that was just brilliantly done, every one of your neighbors now know that you're the paparazzi jewelry lady, right? You're the Oprah of the drive,
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that was absolutely brilliant. But agreed. And if you're struggling to be active, if you're struggling for viewers, if you're struggling to get your business off the ground, why not go that extra mile and set yourself up a host every week? You know, I mean, at the worst that's going to happen, if you set up one host every weekend, like let's say Saturday is your hosting day, right? And you have one host every weekend, then I guarantee you selling 15 pieces to be able to get active is not going to be so hard. You know, getting more and more viewers is not going to be so hard, especially when you've done that every week for the next for the next 3 months or so. That's 12 different parties that you've had with a whole like slew of different people that have been coming in and out and have joined you. And if you're being consistent by going live outside of that, like literally, if you can't sell from doing that right there, you might want to flip burgers, like literally, like, because that's just money in your pocket. And I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to be crude when I say that, but flat out, seriously, if you do that and you can't make this business work, then it's probably maybe not the business. I don't know. But literally, you know, and I think that that's actually something that maybe we should start bringing into those people that are struggling, to say, hey, you know, I'm your upline and you're struggling, you haven't been able to get active. Tell you what, why don't you find somebody that's willing to be a host, and I'll guide you through this, and we'll set up a host party. And you know, I mean, I know myself as an upline, I am more than willing to go, and if somebody can set up a party at a schedule that I can go at, hey, I will gladly be a part of the event, and I will gladly speak and on the event page and say, hey guys, I'm the upline of the host, you know, the consultant, and I'm just so excited to see that you guys are all coming and gathering around for this party that's due to come. I'm you know, and just kind of maybe add a little something to it as well. I would gladly do that for anybody on my team. So keep that open and available if anybody decides that they want to try that out. You know, I encourage it to the max.
No, he wasn't.
Hello, iPhone. I see you as iPhone. Can you introduce yourself?
That is now there with a message, and the new season is out next Friday on Apple TV Plus. Okay, now we all know that.
Okay, so I'm not sure who that is, so I don't know.
I was about to say, I
that.
hope I'm not unmuted and it was me.
No, I think you were fine. I keep seeing the iPhone mute and unmute, so I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Whoever
But I don't
you
know who
are,
iPhone
Miss
is.
iPhone, say hi.
That is me, Ida.
Oh, hello, Ida.
Ida, why did I think that it sounded like your granddaughter? But I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that was her talking in the background before.
I hope you're doing well, you guys. Miss Ida is recovering from having surgery on her knee, but she is still in there doing the damn thing.
All right, there we go. Now we know who she is. So, does anybody have anything to add to that as far as host parties or event parties, or maybe even ways to get those kind of things done? Does anybody have a special tip on getting hostess parties?
Well, I know I don't have any luck at all trying to get anybody to even host a party.
Ida, limp along, stop it.
I have a hostess party coming up.
Okay, I do have some tips if no one else. I like to kind of sit back to hear you guys say it first. I'm trying to look in here to see who.
I know I keep trying to like not take the mic so much, but I guess that's what I'm supposed to do.
But that's okay. Between you and I, we can kind of tackle it. Are we done? Okay, so while we're checking out, I'm going to tell you guys, you never know unless you ask. What is the worst thing that someone could say? No. I mean, if you go to your customers, if you do this either on a live or you personally message them and they tell you no, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. The thing is that they're still going to shop from you. They're still going to be your friend. They're not going to think that you're weird. But if you don't ask, you just won't know. So always start in your lives first. You're going to want to talk about it constantly, that this is I can't think of what the saying is, but Michelle says it, like the blood of your business, or I can't remember exactly how she says it, but hostesses will help you to thrive. And if you tell your customers just right off the bat that you need help, aren't they going to want to help you? Anybody who's done a challenge or who's said, I've been challenged, don't your customers want to help you? I know that Stacy has a great rapport and relationship with her customers because she shares with them what she's working towards, if she has a goal or she has a challenge. And so when you share that with them, that you need hostesses in order to continue to grow, they're going to want to. So that's the first tip that I'm going to give you guys, is to just ask. And second thing is entice. You can make sure that we're staying within compliance, but you can offer double hostess rewards. You can Google images for it. You can make your own image for it. You can offer your hostess double hostess rewards. So if you've had like crickets when you've been trying to get people to host for you before, say, you know what? I'm going all in. Vegas convention is August. The month of August, I'm going to offer everyone who books a party in August and keeps their original date, I'm going to offer double hostess rewards. And so explain to them what it looks like, because they might not know, right? So you say, everyone who hosts for me gets one free piece. Okay. Just for hosting, you get a free piece of jewelry. Why not try it? And then every 10 that sell during your party, you get one free piece. And like I said, for the month of August, we're going to double that. So it puts it into their minds that, hey, even if my friends stink and don't buy anything, I'm still going to walk away with 2 free pieces. This hardly ever happens. And if you work with your hostess the right way, you won't have a problem with them being successful. But that's my second tip. My third one is going to be go for your big customers. Go into your Square, PayPal, whatever it is that you do your invoicing on, and look at who has spent the most with you in the last 30 days. And what I would do is send them a personal message and say, Rebecca, oh my gosh, I appreciate you so much. You know, you are make it into like a top 5 or a VIP or something like that. You are my top VIP for the month. And I would love to give you some free jewelry. Instead of you always having to pay me, how about I pay you out in free jewelry? Would you mind hosting a party for me? Making it something like that. And it's a simple question, guys, but sometimes it's that wording that you need help with. And if you ever do need wording help, reach out, because usually I can come up with something pretty quickly. But those are going to be my 3 hostessing tips that I have for you. Does anyone have any questions about what I just talked about?
I think also, like I had told you guys before, keep your eyes open, right? And take mental notes too. If you see that some of your customers or some of the people that you are on pages with, you see that somebody's hosting a party already for maybe another company. Well, if that person's already hosting a party for another company, put them in your mind and go back and maybe talk to them at a later time, because they're obviously willing to host and they want free items. Maybe you can host them a party too, right? So, keep those people in your mind. Keep those people that are talking about that they're having weddings, or they're having big parties, or they're having big family reunions or get-togethers. Be like, hey, why don't you host a party with me and in honor of that, or in honor of your birthday, or in honor of your brides or your bridesmaids, or let's have a wedding party. Keep those dates and those plans open, so that way you can hit up those people as well.
I have actually done that, where I have hosted parties for other people I know that sell other products, whether it be online or however they do it. But I have also been a host for them as well, and brought a few people in. And in return, I just make them be a hostess for me as well. And
that's another good tip too, Michelle. But I was actually talking about people, just standard people that will be the host of a party. So for instance, if somebody is selling a product and they have somebody that's willing to do a party for them, then you go to that person that's willing to do the party, and you message them maybe the next month or the following month and ask them if they would like to host a party with you as well. And if you really want to juice it up, when that person's hosted a party, join it and be one of the people in the audience. You don't necessarily have to buy, but if you can and you want to, sure, be a part of it. But you're going to be able to, the reason why I say that is I know this one lady, and I'm just going to say her name. Her name is Kelly. She is an amazing nurse, and she knows all kinds of people, and she's a sweetheart. And so she has literally every month thrown a party for somebody that does a different product of stuff. She's done candles, she's done bags, she's done makeup, she's done plastic goods and kitchen items, and anything you can throw out there, she's probably has done it. And she's agreed to do one for me as well, because I noticed that she's doing all these parties. So I've mentioned to her, hey, since I've seen you throwing these parties and you have so much fun with them, how about getting yourself some free jewelry and doing a party with us? And so she's on my calendar for August to do a host party. And so that's kind of where I was going with that. But yes, even having somebody that's a direct sales company, and you switch parties for each other, those can even be successful. Me personally, I'm not necessarily looking for that route, but if that's another venue, then hit it. Party hoppers are the favorite. Yes, right. See, and party hoppers are great because you don't necessarily have to teach them everything, right? They've already done parties. They're already aware of how it works. They know they've got to invite their people, and if they're party hoppers, they've probably already got a bunch of people that already go to these parties.
Yeah, so they kind of, in a sense, do a little bit of the work for you.
Well, a lot of the work. Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I do it that way, because it's very helpful.
Yeah.
And now with everybody, with COVID going away and stuff, I've done 4 hostess parties in people's homes, and they've been pretty successful. So I'm trying to go that avenue again, because for me, until I get my checking account back, with the situation I'm in, that's the best route is in-person sales.
Well, and when Michelle Egan started Paparazzi, there wasn't Facebook Live. So Michelle Egan comes from a time where host parties are where it's at, and it's been replaced a lot by Facebook, but it's never died. And Michelle Egan is still, she's still killing it with these host parties. And it's some of the things that I guess we've got to, this is a cure all. To be honest with you, it's a cure-all for anybody that's struggling in this business. If we get a new consultant that's signing up, boom, this is lightning right here. This could get you active. This could get you in sales. This can get you in viewers. And if you do all of the things that we're taught in training, if you're implementing your algorithms, if you're implementing consistency and frequency and keeping a schedule, and you're doing the hostess rewards, like, the more you successfully hit these checkpoints and check marks and do these things, the quicker your climb up the ladder is going to be. With that being said, does anybody have anything further? Mic is open. Anybody have any other topic that they'd like to discuss? It doesn't have to be about this. It could be about convention or Z pieces, or which reminds me, we have this weekend rush, right? I want to see. I'm personally hoping to see some real numbers come out of this back office this weekend, because with convention coming here soon, everybody we want to see more and more new pieces in that back office, right? But don't forget too that there's some Z pieces that are hitting the stage for the last time. Make sure that you guys are posting those Z pieces and that they're available for claim, and that if somebody claims them, go and order them, and that way you can get your confirmation and collect your monies for those. Okay, $25 Z pieces are no joke, right? And that's an easy way to make some money, so you could turn around and get yourself active if you're not already. And I know I'm not talking to any of you that are in here right now, because all of you should be active for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for all those that are replaying, I want you to know we're on the hunt.
A couple of months ago, when I started hearing on this Zoom thing that the Z pieces for each year, was going to go away eventually. With every order I would purchase, my first order of the month, I'd always add 3 of the new Z pieces and then get 2 of each, because they sell pretty well and they're well worth the money. But right now, I noticed today when I did my order that I don't remember the names, sorry, but the long gold one that's in so many tiers, oh, that's like my favorite. But anyway, I bought several of those today, and I kind of have a little stash of my own going for them, so that I have those always on hand for sale as well. And I wore the multicolored one that's not back there with all the different stones. It's not there in back office to sell now, but I wore that one, and thank God I had bought it a few months back. And I had a customer today at the store admiring it, and I got her to purchase one. So, it's always good to have those on hand, because that's not just $5, that's $25 in a hurry. So, but I mean, I'm just trying to stock up on those right now while we can.
Right. Sarah says the gold one is called Commanding. The gold Z piece.
Yes, Commanding. That's my all-time favorite one, I think.
Right. And congratulations to both Stacy and Sarah for being able to get a blockbuster piece showcased with their picture in the website next year. That's awesome stuff right there.
Hello, and thank you for taking those words out of my mouth, because that was the next thing I was going to say. Congratulations, you ladies.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So excited.
I'm going to have to call paparazzi, because I want to make sure that they don't call her Christopher Turner.
Right. You definitely need to clarify that. But I'm sure that she did hopefully when she emailed back her choices, I'm sure that she put her name. But you guys do, anybody who's got 2 together, if you don't change the name, it'll just be in the person who's registered and the same profile, back office picture. So make sure to do that for her, Chris.
Yeah, well, I know that she did register because she got her name badges that say.
Okay, she should be good then. I can't wait. I'm so excited for Miss Sarah and Miss Stacy.
Right. That's going to be so nice, though, to be able to just send out your web link with that Blockbuster picture. Say like, hey, have you shot my site? I'm on it.
It's going to be a huge seller. They're both definitely going to be able to use that. Just like when Michelle Egan did her, all the trimmings in pink. Oh my gosh. I know it wasn't me personally, but I used that photo to say, hey, here's my upline. Everybody, let's buy this necklace out. So just imagine Miss Stacy and Sarah are going to be able to say, come and buy my necklace out. And you can't buy it out because it's a Blockbuster.
Yeah. Right.
But where is that picture going to be? I mean, is it? I don't even know where it's going to be at.
It's going to be in the
like
Blockbuster category, right?
Yep. It's going to be showcased because now there's so many. They've got to alternate them through. So you know how like once a month we get that email we just got that says Blockbuster Showcase.
Uh-huh.
So they rotate them out through the months. So like they'll email you when yours does come out, and then you'll be in the back office, literally, or on the website. Literally, you'll be able to go to Blockbusters and click your picture. And yeah, you can link it. You can, you know how each piece has like a link? You can link that when it does come out for you.
And you just brought up something really cool too. Have you ever taken a look at those Blockbuster showcases and seen like their favorite quotes and like or the information? I can't even remember what it is.
Like the sellers tips and stuff.
Yeah.
Stacey and I were just talking about that yesterday, and I like to go back and look at like old ones. Like I just Google like 2017 Blockbuster Showcase, and you can use the photos from then, and I really think that everybody kind of wears it differently. Like whatever their Blockbuster piece is, everyone kind of wears it different. So it can look like a whole different necklace. So you can just, even if you can't find the emails or whatever, you guys can go to Google and just type Blockbuster Showcase, something like that.
Yep. That's good stuff. I love it.
I need someone to show me how to do makeup so I can make sure that I look okay. Good thing Sarah and I are rooming together, and that I said, schedule yours for the same time as mine so we could go together.
Yeah. Sarah's got oodles and oodles of makeup, so I'm pretty sure she's got everyone at convention covered.
Oh, lovely.
So how do you guys feel after hearing a little bit about Hostesses? Is there anything that stuck out to you that you are excited to try, or that you have questions about, or even a tip?
No, everybody's good on that. Like,
I was like, no, nobody.
Yeah, like
maybe
crickets.
Today is just a listening day.
Maybe. Well, and
I missed the question altogether. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Marissa. Ask it again.
How are you feeling about what we talked about with the Hostesses? Is there anything that stuck out to you that you would like to try with your, that you're going to give a try? Like, hey, she mentioned X, Y, and Z, or he mentioned X, Y, and Z. Maybe I'm going to try that. And if nothing really stuck out to you, do you have a tip that you think would work for yourself or someone else?
I'm not sure if I have any other tip. Like I said, the the one before that I did was, hostessing for other people, and then they will hostess for you 99% of the time. That's always a good one. But I don't know. I haven't hosted, but maybe a handful of them. So I don't have any real advice. I don't know if you can mix other things in with it. Like when you're doing the hostess, you can play games and,
Sure.
products like that as well, that might be a good idea to mix it in, because it will probably bring up your sales and your viewers.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Games or trivia or anything that's going to make it, you know,
Exciting.
you be able to build relationships with these people. That's the whole goal. You know, it's not even the total sales that you get off of that. It's the return that you're going to get out of it in the future as well. Any of those people that like you as a consultant or like your jewelry or like your product, and they hopefully come back for more. That's the ultimate goal in it. But the you know, the actual sale that you're doing right then and there too. I mean, if you can make it fun and make them enjoy the time that they're spending with you, I mean, that's more pieces that you're going to be able to show them, and you know, be able to dangle in front of their eyes for them to feast upon.
You and Marissa always have the best answers.
What's
I
that?
love you and Marissa. Excuse me. Always have the best answers.
You know, and I think that comes from the fact that Marissa and I spend a whole lot of time watching and learning from those that are above us. Like, and
Right.
so we like everything that we're being told to telling you guys right now. I mean, that's not necessarily all organic thoughts from us. It's just something that we've picked up. And a lot of times we mix those thoughts with other thoughts we've heard. And, you know, it makes it a little bit easier to think outside the box because somebody's already thought of it for us. We just learned it from them. And when you implement and apply it to your business, it makes it easier for you to be able to pass it on to other people.
Yeah, ever since I got that.
Also,
go ahead.
No, sorry. I was also going to say it comes with the experience and time in the business. Like, when you are in it for multiple seasons, multiple years go by, you also have like that. What is the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like seasoned.
Yeah.
Like maturity.
You know, maturity. Yeah, maturity in my. Yeah, maturity in your business. You grow, your business grows, you learn things, you learn by mistakes, right? So you'll get there too, Michelle. And you're a different consultant today than you were 6 months to a year ago, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I looked back the other day on my very first live I did. Oh my God. I was like embarrassed to watch it myself.
Look, guys, I've got a video of Marissa and Sarah from when they first were like, when Sarah first signed up with Marissa. Like, I want to say probably within the first month, Sarah went and did a live with Marissa at Marissa's house. And they literally were sitting at 2 kitchen chairs with a piece of pegboard up against the wall.
Yeah, we all grow somewhere. We all have to start somewhere. I remember that. And I remember Sarah was nervous and I was like, it's fine. It'll be fine. Because when you have somebody sitting next to you, it kind of takes away a little bit of that nerve wracking, that being nervous. And that's something that I did. I had a lot more local people when I first had signed up. So a lot of my personal sponsors, I said, your live launch, let's do it together. So I opened up my home to a lot of my, first couple of years of personal sponsors. And it really does give them an advantage. It gives them a better start because I remember my first live, I felt very scared, very nervous. And so just having somebody sitting there right next to you makes a big difference too. So I don't know if you've got teammates or you have people that are on the fence and they're nervous about signing up because they don't think they can do a live or X, Y, and Z, tell them, let's do it together. Even if they're not local. I mean, now we can do split screen and we can do all kinds of stuff now. So if you have anybody that is nervous or thinking that they can't do it or they don't want to do a live, offer to help them. This is what you're there for. Like, you're their personal upline. You are their person. You're their first point of contact. And so they will want, they will want to help.
And all these things that I think me and Marissa are trying to teach within these trainings are also things that I feel like once you get a good grasp of this, like Michelle, before I was doing these daily Zooms, right? And now that you've been coming in on a regular basis with these, like, I feel that if you were to sign up somebody tomorrow, you would be much more prepared to get them started and in the right track than if you had signed them up before we had done the Zooms, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I was much more lost before, and I feel like I've learned a lot from these, the Zoom meetings. And just personal experience too, from all the trainings that Marissa's had us do or we signed up for. And just getting that experience alone has been beyond beneficial. And you are correct, because having that is golden, And when I started for my first 5 months of it, I didn't have that backing, So
right.
I found Marissa and all of you guys, and it's just been so beneficial, really.
Well, now what we need to do, though, is we need to make sure that we're spreading the word and sending these kind of things to our downlines, making sure that everybody is getting the information, because I speak from experience here. When they're not clued in and they're not plugged in, then they're it's one of those things, out of sight, out of mind. Like, okay, well, maybe I'll just get more involved in tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do this next week. The more it's brought into their mind and into their daily habits, the more they're going to actually work it, And so sometimes I think that we just got to be a little bit closer with our downlines and our those that are personally working with us. Now, we spent a lot of time in here working with each other, but I don't know, I can't necessarily see what you guys all do with your downlines and what you don't do with your downlines, so only that. But I see that all of the knowledge that we have in here from countless times that we've all gotten together and been able to speak about these things, that I see that there's a whole bunch of us in here that are going to be leaders. We're going to be working our ways up the ladders, especially if we're implementing and using all of the things that we learn in these Zoom conferences. So now it's just a matter of spreading that word and getting more and more people involved in learning this stuff so that they can get where they want to be. Because, like, literally, those that are struggling to be active, and those that are struggling to have viewers, and those that are struggling to get those sales and be able to make this business what we're making this business, they're probably struggling in all of these fields, and being able to, have a tip of getting a hostess party a week for the first 4 weeks would, definitely be a big boost to a lot of people's businesses. On top of, being consistently going live on a regular basis, whether it be daily or at the same hour or the same time, whatever they choose to do with their business. But businesses, a lot of businesses don't make money when they're closed, right? And the only time you're open is when you're actually working your business. So, those things need to be considered when you want to see where your business values in the long run.
Yeah, good points.
So now that it's been a while since I've asked this question, I want to start do kind of a round robin. And Samantha, you're in my top right corner or left corner. So I want to ask you right now, currently, what's your biggest struggle?
I think my biggest struggle is myself, my depression, things like that. But I seen that I think it was Marissa had posted something about a 30-day boot camp thing earlier today. And so I joined that, and I'm gonna start looking at all that info tomorrow after the wedding, and I can be done with that. I don't have to worry about the wedding anymore.
Did that already start?
I don't know. I just joined it today, and I didn't get a chance to go in and look because I've been doing candles and all sorts of different things to make sure that the wedding these party favors for the wedding.
Well, and
I'm
just
not
want
even
to tell
in the
you,
wedding party.
that 30-day boot camp is outstanding. It's awesome and it's great, but it is a lot of work. So prepare for it, you know what I'm saying, and do the best you can. If you miss a day or you mess up here, you mess up there, just continue to run with it, continue to do it. You know, to do it problem free, I think is probably I don't know, Sarah might be able to add to this, but we had done it once before, and I'm not gonna lie, it is definitely something that, like, you got to keep on top of it, and you got to work. So it's and when they say boot camp, they're not joking. You know, it literally is a boot camp. It's going to test your strengths. It's gonna help you improve your weaknesses. So I totally encourage you to do it. And I just invited Marissa back in because I want to ask her. I'd like to find out if she's starting on a certain date or not, because there was at one time, the time that me and Sarah had done it, we had done it as a whole team. You know, Marissa said, hey, we're going to do this starting on this day. Let's all do it together. And we actually had a pretty good turnout in it for the most part. And it, you know, carrying on through at least the first, you know, halfway point. There was still quite a few of us that were doing it together. And then it kind of trickled off, and less were able to actually complete it. But it was definitely a good experience, even if you only did the first week, the second week, the third, however far you got into it. It was definitely something to consider. So if any of you don't know about the 30-day boot camp, you can literally search on Facebook 30-day boot camp, and it should show up. Andrea Hutchinson of Paparazzi is the one that puts it out there. And then you might want to get with Marissa and let her know that you want to get involved in doing that as well. Because I'm hoping that Marissa is going to do something like that again and start at a certain date, and everybody that wants to participate can get involved.
No, don't.
Wonderful.
Come back, please.
That sounds good to me. As far as your biggest struggle, though, which is yourself and the depression and the anxieties that you're going through, we had talked about, like last time, you know, being able to dive more into your work when your mind's rattled with those thoughts. Has that been able to help at all? Like, are you able to kind of focus on work and take your mind into a different direction to help with that?
Yeah, now that I'm not suspended anymore, and
Right.
no, Heather, stop. And Sam is trying
Is
to talk
Becky
on the
upset
video.
about that? I hadn't got to ask.
Yes and no. She's upset that she can't do it again for another year. But we kind of should have waited and not done anything, because her and the guy she was living with had decided they're going to work on their relationship. So she could have stayed a little longer and still used his address. But it is what it is.
So did they already get back? Is she already moved back out?
No, she didn't move out. She's going to live with me, but she could have used his address as a mailing address. That's where originally, because she was living there, that's where she had started her business out of. But she could have still continued to use his mailing address.
Yeah,
but
well, that's
it is what it is.
At least this way, it keeps you from getting turned in for doing stuff you're not supposed to and all that. So,
right.
Oh, it is a bummer, though. You know, it's a learning thing. How about you, Stacey Bennett?
You,
I'm sorry, what was that?
We already knew that there was a possibility of that when
Yeah.
she moved back in anyway.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, we'll move on from it though, right? We'll make it happen.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're going to do that boot camp. Let me know how you make of it. Keep me updated.
Okay. And I'm active now, Chris.
You are active. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I love it. How'd you do this weekend? Did you do well on your yard sale?
No,
No.
my yard sale, unfortunately, because not a bunch of people do it in my trailer park. They're all few and far between, so people don't know. And my trailer park's a big, huge maze. So unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of people coming in, but I got a couple options on some vendor events coming up that I'm trying to get into right now. And there's a couple places around town here that has some really good traffic that I'm going to try to see if I can convince somebody to let me kind of put up shop in their yard.
Right.
Well, you can advertise those things to your local people on Facebook, if you want to set one up for the future. And then what I did, because I live in an apartment complex, was printed out flyers and put them on people's doors. And I think I put out about 150 pieces of paper, because this place is large, and I got 50 people to show up, and it turned out to be quite a success. And I used the rec room they have here, and it didn't cost me anything.
That might be an idea. We had our rec room or whatever is now starting to open back up because of all the rules and stuff. So I may have to do that. I may have to figure out if I can do that. I don't know. One thing at a time right now. I'll get it done and I'll be good, and we'll get back into this. And I got my bling bag, so I'm super excited about that. I got just a minute, Heather. I got that, and I'm in charge tomorrow at this wedding with Becky's kids. So part of the stipulation, or well, not stipulation, but part of taking care of them is, I got to have a bag big enough to put extra clothes and diapers, and my bling bag is perfect for that.
Yeah, there you go.
You should also put together a couple of baskets of your jewelry and make them look pretty. Take them and set them on the table there, or somewhere you're going to be near them, so people can shop from you that come as guests to the wedding as well.
Okay.
So that's all good stuff. Real quick, I just want to drop a link here that you can get. Let me see. That right there is a YouTube video from a girl named Mermaid Christine, and she has a really good video on how to set up your bling bag really nicely and have it make it look real nice. So that might be something that you might want to look at, is give you an idea of how to use some of the tools that you already get with paparazzi, as far as some of the backings and the kids piece foams and stuff like that. So check it out. All right, and Miss Stacy, so what could you say would be your biggest struggle right now?
Oh, other than my kids being home for the summer, which I'm like so ready for them to go back to school, because, well, I'll just leave it at that. I'm trying to think, probably just getting the ladies that I are on my team motivated again. I've reached out to all of them individually and just did, the casual, hi, how's it going? How's your summer? What's going on? And everybody's kind of been the same thing, oh, things are crazy right now. So, I just gave the relatable, I totally feel you, but I just wanted to check in and say hi. Like Marissa said, I didn't make it about paparazzi at all, unless they brought it up, and a couple of them did. like, oh, I need to get back into it, or, oh, I need to do this. And so I, just opened it up with, yeah, like, I'm here, let me know what you need. But I do need to probably be more vocal or do more engagements in our group and on our like I have like a messenger group and then I have a Facebook group. So I probably need to make more of an effort to be vocal. But you know what, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be truthful that and I need to grow thicker skin, because it kind of was hurtful that some of them backed away like they did, and not even just backing away, but like back away from paparazzi, but backing away from even just like talking to me, because once I'm your friend, and like that's kind of it, and I give it my all. And so it was kind of hurtful. Some people just like left, some people left and did other companies, which is fine. Took some of my customers and did other companies with like did that too. So
Oh no.
it's just, what, it's kind of bothered me. Like, I didn't think it bothered me as bad as like, I think that it does really bother me, because I'm trying to not let it bother me, if that makes any sense at all. But, because it shouldn't, it really shouldn't. It should be, because I've heard it time and time and time again, that the people that to start building your team will not be the ones to get you to where you need to be. And I understand that, but it's that part of me that is just like gets hurt because of hurt feelings, like, hey, but we were friends, like, and I don't want you to shy away from me. Like, if you don't want to do it, that's fine.
Right.
But I do need to become
I'm the same way.
more active, and I just don't think that I know how, because in my eyes I see it as, you know what, you guys aren't doing anything. Like, I feel like it's just wasting my time and your time to like post and just have it be crickets. You know what I mean? And there's not like a ton of them anyway. So it's just kind of like, well, what am I, what am I talking to you for if there's no response? And I don't mean that to sound like mean, but
No,
I don't know
and
how else to
trust
put
me.
it.
How many people do you have underneath you?
I think that I forget how many my direct
Not
downlines.
necessarily direct personal sponsors, but just that you are the leader of, through all the levels.
I think the last time I looked, it said like 19.
Okay, so yeah, and if you want
But
to
I
find
have
out,
5 active, five
okay,
that are actually like active.
if you want to find out easily, if you go to the back office, at the very top of the back office page where it has all the little icons for the different pages and stuff, there's one bar at the very very top of it that has your name and your rank. If you click on that, it'll
Total
slide
downline is
over.
19.
Perfect. Okay.
Front line is 12. And then,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Hey, 12 personal sponsors right now isn't bad at all. And then having 19 as in your total team, man, that's good stuff right there. And so what I would say, here's the thing that I deal with in my teams. Okay, so my personal sponsors that have signed up under me when I first started doing this business, I didn't reach out to as much as I should have then. And so a lot of those personal sponsors have all either died off by now, and they've either completely canceled, or what the ones that are still actively consultants, a lot of those people have already just kind of set in their ways kind of, thing, because I let the time lapse. What I've been doing though, most recently though, with the personal sponsors that I get now, is I do try to get with them as often as I can. I do send regular messages, or just kind of check on them. And then as far as their downlines go, like a lot of times I'll reach out to their downlines too and just introduce myself and let them know that I'm here to help them at any time, or even often send them messages saying, hey, how are you doing? Is there something I can help you with? And a lot of times I get the, no, I'm good. I'm just too busy right now. I'll get back into it, this, that, and the other, all of the standard type situations. But I found also too that because Sarah and I are successful so far in this business and we plan to go even further, that sometimes I intimidate them when I message them because they automatically assume like they're being called into the principal's office. And that's not my goal at all, right? Like my goal is to be a business partner with you, be able to check on your business just as I know that you've probably seen where my business is going. I want to see where you're at, where you want to go. But they don't take it that way. And I don't know necessarily how to address that myself, because I do get that a lot of times. I get, oh yeah, so and so said that you messaged them, but they were afraid to talk to you, and I'm like, I don't understand why they would be afraid to talk to me. Like, I'm only here to help them.
Right.
But and at first, like, I was taking it personal too. I was like, well, why wouldn't you talk to me? Like, I mean, what am I doing that's being so intimidating? I mean, I'm being as pleasant as I could possibly be. I don't understand why you would even think that you're under some kind of like disciplinary action. I just don't get it. But
Yeah.
for some reason, that's where they see us, at that level.
Yeah. And that bothers me because that's not like who I am. And I would never want to come across that way or have anybody think of me that way, because I'm more of, like a cheerleader, like helper of like, yo, like, yay, I'm not, and never was, even when, in corporate job, like as a supervisor, I was never one that could be, like really, hammer it down to somebody, or even like a confrontational, non-confrontational, like at all. Like I have to do it in like the nicest like way possible, because I'm not good at it. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't want to make somebody else not feel good. So, I don't know. But I mean, I do want to get back into at least post like a schedule to give them something to, at least I don't want them to think like that I'm not here, or that they can't reach out to me, or that, and at least that it's something. Because I just think like, with this girl that I was telling you about that was just like, oh well, I just didn't get any help. Like I would never want my team to think that they didn't get any help from me, because I'm always available if they ever ask me. I just am not the person that's like reaching out to them every day to be like, hey, how's it going? Do you need my help? Hey, how's it going? So what is your plan? What do you do? Like, I don't want to do that. They're grown adults. If there's part of them that need to branch out and reach, and I will guide and I will do everything else I can, but I just don't want to be like a bugaboo to them and make it be like, God, okay, yeah, leave me alone. Like I'll ask you, because I know when I started, I probably text Annie way too much because I wanted to know. So I reached out and asked her. So I just don't know. I guess there's that fine line of what's, too much and what's not enough. But I don't want them to ever like tell somebody like, well, I started it, but I didn't get much help. So I guess I want to try to help more.
I'm pretty sure Annie has a training group of her own, right? Like Elite Blingers. Okay. And then do you have one of your own?
I do. And like there wasn't a lot of foot traffic on the Facebook. So I started the Messenger group, which everybody was really happy about. They're like, oh yeah, no, we like this. This is good. It's just been quiet lately. It's just died down. Like was usually some good chats going back and forth, but it's just got, I think with everybody like, oh, it's just been slow this summer. The kids are out. Things have just kind of gotten a little different. So it's not like it's been forever, but it's long enough that where I'm not comfortable with it, and I want to make sure that I'm being the best leader that I can be. And right now, I don't think that I am.
Okay, so let me see if I can help you here with a couple ideas. Since you already have your team VIP, your team training group up, and you have them involved in there, what I would recommend is if you're not going live in there and talking to them on your own, and even if you're just talking to yourself, I would go live in there every once in a while at least. And I fail at doing that right now because I'm still recovering from this COVID and I haven't been able to like get myself up in front of camera and feeling comfortable without feeling like the fatigue and the drain. So I haven't personally been doing that in my group. So shame on me for that. But dude, I would do that like maybe once a week, maybe once every other week or whatever. But I would, all of the videos that you're seeing in Marissa's group and even in Annie's group that you are that your people are probably plugged into, I would copy and paste those links and drop them in that group too, so that now they're being placed at least in that spot for your people to be able to conveniently go there and see everything that's being fed to you, regardless of whether or not they're following those groups. You're at least putting it there for them to see. And then you can even drop those same links if you wanted to into that chat group that you do. If that's something that you want to do. But of course, the more places that you drop it, the more work you got to do yourself, right? And so me as a leader in my group, every time I do something, I have to drop it in Elite Blingers, then I drop it in Team KoB, then I go drop it in my group chat, then I go drop it in these couple of chats, you know what I mean? And so it takes me about 2 minutes to do anything like that because I have to share it in so many places. But it's my best route to make sure that everybody's getting the information. And if they don't use it or they don't go to it, then they can't blame me.
Right. Well, I usually share on Mondays, and she's not affiliated with Paparazzi. And now, of course, I just forgot her name, but she, now, dang it, why can't I remember her name? She's so amazing. I love her. I don't know what she sells or what she does, but she, I think Marissa had shared a video
The
of
Creative Successes, Michelle.
No, let's see.
Oh, okay.
For you, I won't find it for you now because now now it's going to bother me. Ashley Mayfield. Has anybody watched any of her lives? She is so motivational. She's just not cutthroat, but like cutthroat funny, just like fun. Like I just
know that
adore
name.
her.
I'm gonna search it.
So I usually on Mondays I will take, because I watch her Motivation Mondays, and I'll post that into our group. But like I've been posting, the Zoom links in there, and I just know that I feel like I want to be better, and I could be better, right? We can all be better, but I just don't know what to do, and I think that I got butthurt, and part of me is just like, all right, well, I mean, I'm not going to bother you. Like, I'm not going to come chasing after you. I mean, I'm here, but I don't know what they want. And I've asked, like, hey, you guys, like, tell me, like, I don't want to bother you. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to be not enough. But just like, let me know. And, it's just,
so I think also, another thing you could do is those chat groups that you have, they're great too, to be able to like take your phone and do a video of yourself just real quick. Like, hey guys, what's going on for the day? I'm just doing this. I'm doing that. Hoping that you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. And then let it go and then post it to that chat group. So they're actually seeing video of you two and kind of bring that relationship back into it. I mean, the worst that's going to happen is that they don't feed off of it. They don't do anything with it. And, you're at least making those steps that are saying, hey, I'm open to you. You're the one that's closed off here,
Right.
And then something that I want to offer to everybody in here is like, I mean, feel free to go to your downline and say, hey, I'm going to join tomorrow's Zoom conference. And, I've been asked to bring in anybody. Oh, I think I spelled it wrong. Oh, Ashley Mayfield. Yeah, she's the one that I do isn't she the one that does the cartoon on how to rank up? that I add to my daily dashboards. Anyway,
I don't
so
know.
what I'm saying is, reach out to the people that are your downline, just saying, hey, these Zoom conferences that I'm going to, they always want me to have somebody, from my downline join me in them. Like, why don't you come join me in tomorrow's? Do you have time? Could you join me in it? And if they say, no, I can't or whatever, then, feel free to give them the schedule and say, hey, join me on any day, or, just go check it out for yourself. Hey, he can give you a lot of help and, you get a lot of answers, or just come introduce yourself as a member of my team, just something of that nature. And maybe being able to get them involved in one of the Zoom conferences, they can not only see that, we have a lot of information in here and that we can help them out, but, give them a chance to introduce themselves and then ask them that same question. What's your biggest struggle in being a paparazzi consultant? And, it'll open up that other realm for being able to get some training into them too. And maybe just even finding out who they are or what they're about. So
Sounds
anybody
good.
welcome to do that. Feel free to invite your downlines into these Zoom conferences. I totally would love that. But I also have learned too, Stacy, that it is one of those things, like, you've also, like, you ever seen those cartoons where they have the person sitting on horseback and they've got a fishing pole with a carrot in front of the horse, and the horse is following the carrot but will never get it. Right. Well, sometimes horses don't like carrots. Sometimes they want a big, nice, red, juicy apple. So if my horse isn't wanting a carrot, that's not going to motivate him. But if I got a big, red, juicy apple out there, you've got to find out what your horse is interested in and then dangle that in front of them, and let them know that those are there for them. So if they're in this for the money, or if they're in here because maybe they have self-esteem issues and they're trying to build, some comfort having other ladies and a hobby of something to do with, then, you feed them those carrots. But the more you can entice those horses. But the fact of the matter is, if that horse is already feasted and it's not hungry, you're not going to get it to move anywhere. So, it doesn't matter what you put out there. And those are the ones that you just unfortunately got to throw your hands in the air and say, at least I got a little bit of a PV boost for a second, if all else, and at least I know that they supported me enough to at least join me, even if they didn't have enough, you know, discipline in themselves to make it happen for them. That is tough,
and
though.
it's interesting because then there's some that like don't want or like even ask for anything, and then they just, I don't know, they do all kinds of stuff, and they not that they need me, then that's fine. Like, I'm not expecting it, but I just feel bad. Like, they're just kind of like, okay, bye. Like, I'm gonna just go off, and they like, do great, successful things. Like, one of my girls ended up making Life of the Party bronze, which I think is awesome. But like, she doesn't like stay in contact with me. It was just kind of like, peace. Like, I'm good. I'm gonna fly on my own, which again is great. But it's like, oh, hi. Like, okay, I guess you got it. Like, you don't need my help. But it makes me feel bad as a leader, because I feel like I have this responsibility to them. And then I feel bad, like, when they go off and ask somebody else a question, and it's like, dude, I'm here. Like, why are you? And I get it. We can, of course, we all learn in different ways, and somebody might be more comfortable getting information from someone else. But like, I am here 100%. I would never, ever, ever tell my team that I'm too busy, or that I can't answer a question, or like ignore them for, I wouldn't do that. So,
Right.
some people that just go off and like ask other people, it's like, it makes me feel bad. Like, I don't want anyone thinking that I'm not like trying to support my team, and they are asking, all this from other leaders. And it's just like,
well,
you haven't even asked me one
pro
question.
back
I
on
could have
your
helped you with that.
right, and once you get that Revolution Pro back on your back office, and you're able to see more of what your consultants are doing, you'll be able to go and like you can check and see what they're ordering every day, or who's your top PV of the team, and you can promote those kind of things too, like give recognition to them when they're doing certain things, or if like maybe if you've got enough pieces available or some type of a reward, offer them a weekend challenge for every order that they do. Or a lot of times what I do is when Marissa posts something saying that she's going to give double hostess rewards, or she's going to do this or she's going to do that as a weekly incentive, I oftentimes post it to my team and let them know that I will do it as well.
Oh yeah,
So
I've
if
done that.
they
I've
get
doubled
into
it.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. So, doing those kind of things are some of the things that I do. But even then, you're not going to get everybody participating in them. You know what I'm saying? But with
Yeah.
that revolutionary reward, if you look at and you're able to see that, Jessica has the top PV for the month, and you can acknowledge, hey, Jessica, way to go! Right now, you're carrying the top PV, and you can't tell what each other's PV is. You're not allowed to do that, but you can tell where they place. So like in my team, often I share who's in the top 10. I haven't been doing it the last couple of months just because I've been focused on these Zoom conferences more, but being able to say, hey, Susie, that's awesome, right now you're holding the top PV of the team, or even challenge them, be like, hey, here's my PV, this is the top PV of the team, who wants to see if they can outshine me, or give a prize for the top PV so that it encourages them to make more orders and to get more PV going through theirs, and when you show who's in the top 10 PV, like right now is actually the middle of the month for all of us, so this is the time that I'm planning on posting what the top 10 PV is, so that those people that are in third or fourth position know that, hey, I'm not that far from the top, I just got to push a little harder, or those people that know that, oh man, I'm about to lose the 10th position, I need to make sure that I keep it up. It makes it kind of like a game and a challenge for them, like everybody wants to be challenged, right? So those might be some tips and tricks that will help you, kind of come closer with some of the people that you're in there with. And again, I do think that trying to get them involved in the Zoom conferences, and let me know that they're part of your team too is a big plus, because then I see that, people are bringing more and more people in here, and that's always fun. Sarah Michelle, do you have microphone available, or are you unavailable? I don't think she's available right now, so we'll skip her for the moment. Michelle Badger, hello, hun. Are you available?
Yes.
So what do you think is your top struggle right now?
My top struggle is like, I don't have a problem talking to people because I'm a big people person, but it's, I guess, just landing teammates. It's like as soon as they say no, I don't do a lot of rebuttal back. And I need to learn how to do that, because sometimes I'm too aggressive and it scares them away.
Well, first off, when you're talking to them about becoming a teammate, are you asking them questions, or are you basically giving them the information about paparazzi?
Well, I used to just give a lot of information about paparazzi, which is what I figured out doesn't work.
All right.
So, because that's when they want to run the other direction. But
for sure.
But no, I ask them questions now and try to interact with them. And, a lot of the ones that say no or say, I don't know if I can, it's the husband excuse. I got to talk to my husband about it. And I'd say, well, because one time you said on a Zoom a while back, you even I think Marissa's husband said that, you know, if you needed help talking someone finishing the deal or something, to get them in here on Zoom or talk to them or something, not private message them. But they don't let me even get that far. They just, you know, well, I'll get back to you. And then I check back with them and they don't respond, or they say, no, my husband said I can't do it. And then me, as an independent mom and single mom for 28 years and a woman, I just want to say, who the heck is he to tell you what you can and cannot do?
Right.
You know?
Well, you know, and those people, yeah, there's a few different things I could, like me first thing I would do is be like, well, you know, what we're talking about here is you being able to own and operate your own business for just $100. Like, this is something that you can own yourself, you can do yourself, you know, that I will teach you how to do, and that you'll be able to make extra money on. Like, I don't see how you would even need to bring that up to them. I mean, it's only $100. You're not allowed to spend $100 on yourself, or I don't. I'm just kind of like curious where, if you're sold on it, why he would be either, or even to the thing of being able to just say, like you said, you know, hey, well then I'll tell you what. Why don't you just ask your husband for 15 minutes of his time, okay, and get in a three-way call with me or a speaker call with me, and let's talk about the business with him in there, that he can ask questions too.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
And that would be a good way to nip that one in the butt, if at all possible.
I will try that next time. But yeah, I mean, I'm talking to people every day. So my attitude is, it's a numbers game, and eventually somebody's going to say yes. You know?
Yeah, for sure. But mostly finding out what they could possibly, what they could possibly get out of it. You know, like, why would they want to join? Give me just
Exactly.
a second. I've got to type this real quick. Okay. Yeah, so I think literally just you know, finding out what it's going to do for them. Ask them questions, you know. So what do you do for work? And, you know, like, do you enjoy going to work every day? And what would you do if you didn't have that job? Like, or what would you do? What do you do in your free time? You know, is it worth it to you to maybe spend 2 to 3 hours a night, or maybe 5 to 10 hours a week, you know, earning and building your own business, and making maybe 100, 200, $500 a month? You know, the more money, more time you put into it, the more money you're going to make. So I don't know that you could you know, increase their chances of getting interested on asking questions like that. But that might be something that's, you know, one of the biggest things that I hear a lot of is, I don't have the money, or I don't have the time. And those two reasons for me are exactly why I throw it right back to them. That's the whole reason why I'm telling you this, because you need to be able to, you know, have a way to make that money. If you don't have that money, if you don't have $100 extra to be able to start a business for yourself, and know that you can, when will you ever have the money? Like, are you expecting a big pay raise? Are you expecting the lottery to pay out to you? When do you ever expect that you're going to have an extra $100? And I'm giving you a way to make that extra $100 right now. Like, you invest that $100 and you follow our game plan, and I guarantee you, you'll make more than your $100 back. And the same thing goes for time. If you're, the age you are right now, and you don't have an extra hour or 2 hours or 10 hours in a week to be able to promote a business, then when do you think that you're ever going to have that time? Do you think that you're going to get more time later? Are you expecting there to be a 30-hour clock? Because we're not going to get any more time, but this is going to give you the ability to use your time at your own will and get paid for the time that you do put into it.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Sure thing.
I'm just going to keep on trying, I talk to people all day long because I'm a driver and I go everywhere. And even when I go to the grocery store every other night on the way home, I've always got my eyes open for that perky personality or somebody who has that style where they just love the jewelry, you can tell. And I'm always wearing a different type of jewelry or something every day. And I always have my freebies and my business cards with me everywhere. So I'm doing, I think, all the things that I can do. One thing I do need to try to make more time to do, though, is honestly download that creative app that they have that helps you do your posts pretty and stuff. I laugh at myself because I work 65 to 70 hours a week, 6 days a week. So trying to do my paparazzi and having time to do that stuff, sometimes I'll be sitting down at night on my bed reading through or trying to figure this stuff out, and I literally fall asleep with my phone in my hand. So yeah, it's I just keep trying though at every avenue I get, so
yeah, well, and that's all you can do, but being able to like I follow the Eric Worre.
yeah.
I don't know if you follow him as well, but there is a lot of one of the videos. Give me just a second. I'm trying to do something. I'm on a time limit here. I've only got a couple minutes, so I got to finish this real quick. Give me just a second.
No worries.
Okay.
While Chris is doing that, I just want to say to everybody in here, I love all you ladies. You're all fabulous. Just have to throw that out there.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Love you too.
You're welcome, Dee.
Okay, so hopefully I got that taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell her. Okay. So where was I at then? If you can help me out with that. I think we finished up with our conversation as far as how to start building a teammates, right? Oh, Eric Worre, that's where I was. So Eric Worre, when I follow him, and if anybody doesn't already, look, check out Spotify and type in Eric Worre. I'm going to put it in the chat here so you can see how to spell it. And he has a 7 steps to network marketing podcast that's recorded, and it's actually a book that he wrote. and it's he actually speaks it. He says everything, like an audiobook. But what he talks about in there is one of the things that you can do, and it's something that he's been, like, he had a grandpa or something that had a birthday party with literally over 1,000 of his closest friends. He had over 1,000 closest friends because he genuinely like cherished relationships. So like every day, this grandpa or whatever would pick 3 people of his day that he would just make sure that he got their contact information and that they became a friend to him. Whether it was somebody that gave him good customer service, or it was somebody that just gave him good conversation, or it was somebody that he just ran into that, he just admired for one reason or another and felt that they had something to contribute to his basically his friendship circle, right? And so what he says is there's every person that you meet, you should at least get to know their name. If they have a name badge, use their name badge. But if you can use their name, right? And then you want to know, number one, what their relationship status is. Hey, so you married, you got kids, what's your family thing like? And then secondly, what are they doing for their money? Where do you work? What do you do? What's your occupation? How long you been doing it? Do you like it? Right? And you ask those type of things, and then you take note of it, right? And then you make personal contacts with those people, and you, especially if you know that that person isn't happy with the job that they do, or they're not happy in their relationship or whatever, you have things to talk about with that person to build a relationship with, and to eventually be able to show them more and more reasons why it would benefit them to join your team before you've even mentioned your team to them. You know what I'm saying? You're basically like interviewing them through the process of getting to know them as a friend and making a relationship with them. And that may be difficult to do, but at the same time, it's also easier to do when you're doing something like several hostess parties. The more hostess parties that you would get involved in, and more people that you come across, more people that hit your contact circle, the more people that you get in your address book, the more people that you have to talk to about this business.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just push on with that, but I would continue making it personal to them and not personal to you.
That makes sense.
And how about Miss Sarah, my kitten? Do you have a big struggle that you would like to share with these ladies that you deal with every day? I can't exclude you.
I kind of in the middle of something. Sorry.
Okay, I'll go on and then I'll come back to you. I saw Sarah Michelle was there a minute ago. Is she able to talk now?
No? Hello?
Hello? What is up, girl?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Oh, there you are. Let me just double check. I didn't hear, you were saying my name, right?
Yeah.
What were you?
We're doing a round robin here of the checking to see what your biggest struggle is right now. And I noticed that you're not active. Is that one of your biggest struggles?
I'm not active?
No. I was surprised by that.
What? No.
Let me check again.
Oh my. I must have lost stuff in my cart when I placed that last order.
Oh. Well, that will do it then, right?
Yeah, because I have 32 out of 50. No, I'll get active. That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your biggest struggle then? right now?
That I eat, sleep, and work.
Right, right. But those are common struggles for an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually the recipe. I think that's the recipe: is eat, sleep, and work. Like you have to follow that regimen with no other ingredients. And yeah, it's really hard to balance those to get the taste right.
Yeah. Right now, my biggest struggle that I have is, just getting into this dang house. And, this house was supposed to be done a long time ago, and we're pushing and pushing. We have the keys to the house, but the owner of the house is just taking his time on doing the last finishing touches on the house. And right now, as of today, we were supposed to have all of our bed stuff is over there and stuff. There was a toilet and the bathroom was gutted, and he was supposed to fix the whole bathroom. Well, he just decided he was going to start on the bathroom today and put the tub in. Well, when he dropped the tub down, the whole tub broke. So now we have no tub.
Oh, great.
And so now we're still in the trailer for another week.
Oh, I can see that's aggravating.
Yeah, I want to get back to my business.
Man, you should just park the trailer there at the hotel and just stay in a room for the week.
I can stay in a room here at the hotel all I want.
That's what I'm saying. I would do that. I would do that for the rest of the week.
Well, the trailer's nice and all. It's just there's no space. And
right.
Even the size of our trailer would be the same size as pretty much the hotel room.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Except a little bit less privacy having Riley there in the hotel room versus how she sleeps in the trailer right now.
There you go. I gotcha.
That's just my biggest issue. I just need to get into this dang house.
And of course, I don't think any of us can give you any advice on that one.
Find me a tub.
Oh, yeah, I'm not the one for that either. I'm not the one for that either. Well, either way, we're here for you if you need anything, that we can do. We're here. But
because as soon as that bathroom's put together, it's back to my business.
Well, and I noticed that Danielle's active for the second month in a row. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yep.
I know Sheila's doing really well.
And Danielle just got her first website order, and it was from a complete stranger that just happened to find her off the portal.
Because she was active and on the search engine.
Exactly.
Well, that's good stuff.
Okay, I've got to go. I got the phone ringing.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on then to Miss D. Miss D, how are you today? You haven't said too much yet.
I'm wonderful. I just hopped in at the end, actually. So I was live when you guys first went live, started the meeting.
Oh, okay. So with what you've heard so far, is there anything you'd like to add to anything that we've talked about, or do you have a struggle of your own that you'd like to talk about?
I don't know that I have anything to add because I got in right when you were starting to kind of close up the host discussion. So I kind of was at that time, I was like, should I ask them to repeat the highlights? I was like, no, I'll just have to watch the replay. But I don't know if I have anything I'm struggling with necessarily. I heard a training this morning by someone named Misty in Team United Fashionistas. I thought was like, yes, I love it. She talked a lot about numbers and, just one different perspective, I would think, or I would say, because I don't feel like a lot of people talk about the numbers in the way that she did anyway. Just a different perspective on, man, I only sold 2 pieces today. You know how some people say that, and we want to encourage each other that no, it's not only 2 pieces. Like, you sold 2 pieces. You should be excited about that. Well, she crunched the numbers to show what that, if that is the trend for the rest of the year, how much money that would make you as profit. And it just kind of gave me a different perspective. She talked about selling in the stories, but not just posting the picture. She does a little stories live, and she showed the viewers how to make that, pane by pane in a video format. And I'm like, man, that is genius. Why didn't I think of that? But so I don't know that's necessarily a struggle. Clearly not one. It's just one thing I want to try to implement. And I'm kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I like that. And I hadn't got to watch that video yet, but I do plan on watching it. So I'll have to make sure that I share it with the team. I think Sarah may have already done that, but
Yeah, I did. And I watched it.
Wasn't it good?
Some stuff I agreed with, and some stuff I was like, well, I don't know if I'd want to like put some of those things out there though. Like, I did like the way she broke it down and did the numbers, but then she was saying like, oh, everybody just gets a dip in January. And I'm like, well, don't tell people that, because then I feel like they become complacent because they're like, oh, well, January is going to be slow, so I'm just going to not really like put, it's like, don't. So in that, I was just like, I probably wouldn't have said that part. The rest of it I like, but I was like, don't tell people like, oh, you just expect it to be slow, because then I feel like people just take it slow.
Right. You make a good point. Yeah.
Because I did go back and look at my numbers, and my January was actually bigger than my December, which is weird. You would think December would be really huge, but it was like, I just kept pushing along, did my same old, and didn't worry about whether it was a slow time of year or heavy traffic or whatever. I just kept going.
Yeah.
In that part, I was like,
don't discourage them. Yeah, I agree. And, I think she made a good point too with, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, I don't think she meant it in a way to be discouraging. I think she meant it to be like, hey, it's okay. It does get slow, but like, I don't really like look at it that way. But
yeah. Well, I think another good point she made too was really tracking what you're doing and seeing what things are really working. So in that, making a new goal for a new month, what do I need to keep and what do I need to let go? And I don't know if she really worded it that way, but she said like every little thing she did for her business on a day-to-day basis, she jotted it down and what were her results. So I posted a story live or whatever. How many pieces did I sell? I wrote 5 messages to 5 new people on my friends list. Did they even respond? Like, she wrote it all out and then looked into her next month. Well, what things actually were fruitful and what was just a waste of time in that way. I liked that idea.
It's also good because it helps you but I feel like the things that aren't working for you, don't completely cross them off. Maybe set them aside. Cycle back around to them. Maybe you'll find a different angle or a different way of doing that thing in the future, and you may try it and it may be really successful for you. So I don't ever say like cross it off and like never do it again, but just maybe just put it aside for later and go with the things that are working now, but be open to trying those things again in the future.
Yeah.
Because that may be a later date and a different approach with different customers. Those things may work. Just currently, there maybe not. Like with my mystery bags, the first maybe 6 times I tried mystery bags, I didn't sell a single one. And then Melissa did her training on how she did hers. And I was like, ooh, I can work with that. So I took some stuff from hers and did them. And now mine, I can make $200 in a night with one post,
Wow. Yeah. And had you just totally X'd it out, you wouldn't have ever. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's kind of like that taco truck theory. If you set up your taco truck at this spot and you don't sell a lot, then you need to go back to that same spot over and over again till people know that you're there, instead of chasing the people. Let the people chase the truck.
Yeah.
Well, that's good though that things are going. How about your team? Do you have how big is your team?
I have 4 personal sponsors, and then there are, I believe, 9 more. So it's a total of 13.
Oh, good, good, good. And are you close to any of them? Do you train your team at all, or do you just plug them into the other trainings?
Yeah, I have. I've done, I started out with doing weekly trainings every Saturday. And then kind of along Stacy's line, maybe not as deep as she got, I backed off a little bit and have been doing just once a month. But yeah, we train. I have a messenger group. My last time I did a training, I invited the rest of the team because at first it was just my personal sponsors, but I invited everybody to do a messenger group, and nobody responded that they wanted to be in it. So I did not add anybody else to it.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
I do one-on-one contact with a lot of my, it's Crystal's team that has a lot of downline, and I keep contact with each one of them individually. We're just not in a whole group text. Yeah.
Okay, so Crystal's on your downline?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I see, and I don't necessarily know who's under who, so that's kind of cool to know because I honestly I thought Crystal was directly under Marissa.
Yeah.
They work
when
really
she
close
met
together.
her
They have
in,
that mom vibe, you know?
exactly. When she met her in Utah, they hit it off really good. So it's good that she has, that, I'm like I was mentioning when I heard Stacy kind of talking about her thing, that part doesn't bother me. I'm really excited that she has somebody that she can look up to, and it doesn't bother me. Crystal and I have our own relationship and we're good. So it's not an issue.
Right. Right. And and I should have mentioned it to Stacy when she was here that like I've been through that time too where I felt that way too, where some of my downline they would go and ask in Elite Blingers, and I'm like, we have a family chat you could have asked in. I would have easily answered that. You know what I mean? And then I feel like I'm an idiot. Like if I don't go answer it now, that it looks like I don't know. You know what I mean? And that they already went to me and I didn't know, so they had to go above me to find out.
Right.
And so now I feel like I have to answer in that to save face, and all at the same time, after it happening so many times, you just kind of get immune to feeling that way, and you just kind of realize that what, some people just take things from other people in a way that works, so
Yeah.
as long as they're getting the information in the end, I don't take it personally anymore.
Yeah. I had to learn that the hard way because my firstborn son took to my mother and father as his mom and dad over me. And he still to this day, he jokes about it. Like, that's my first mom. You're my second mom. But that's actually when I learned that lesson. And I just have carried that on with any relationship ever. I know where my son's true heart is. He knows who his mother is. So it's just kind of like a running joke now. But yeah, we're all good. There's I guess I feel like there's no need to be competitive when you know that there's more people out there loving on my Crystal, loving on my son. It doesn't matter because they're being taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I totally get it. And, and it's one of those things that like, at least that they have the information, the answers.
Exactly. Exactly.
What's the difference between your downline and a personal sponsor?
Your personal sponsor is someone you signed on. They signed up under you directly. And then your downline is anybody else that personal sponsor adds on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use the Revolutionary Pro edition?
No, I don't. No, I heard you guys talking about it yesterday and today, and I'm like, ooh, no, I don't.
I will promote it. I won't even lie to you. I think that we were buying it when we needed to, and we totally like used it to our advantage. There's so much information in that Revolutionary Pro that you don't get from your back office, as far as being able to pull reports and see who's got the highest PVs and who's active and all those things. But I think it's one of those things that you have to pay for every month. You have to actually go and reorder it. I don't think it automatically like puts you on a subscription for it.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Is it-
it's definitely something that I would recommend to anybody that has downline.
I think I was reading on that today or something somewhere. I think it's cheap. It's like $7 or something.
It's $5.99.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I encourage that. All right. Well, good, Dee. I'm glad everything's working good for you. And I'm glad that you keep coming in here. Hopefully we can get some of you and Crystal's downlines to come in here. I know like Kelsey Ritchie and Cara Spencer has been in here, so I know that some of them have come in here and there, and I know that when they do come in, they seem to get active for a moment, so I think the more and more we can get people in here, the more active and the more they're gonna want to work their business. People get inspired and encouraged by these kinds of talks, but then the minute they walk away and the excitement falls off, then they fall off too, and they need to be rebuilt again. And I have no problem building somebody up daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, as often as it's going to take, or that they're going to listen to what I have to say. I will gladly let you feed your energy juice off of me. I am cool with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep encouraging.
For sure. And I kind of like vicariously live through a lot of you guys too, because like learning a lot of what I've learned through this business, with Sarah doing the sales, she already does a lot of the algorithms and everything that she needs to do to keep her viewers going and her like the sales portion of it working, right? So I typically don't get to do a lot of those things, but at the same time, I get to do a lot of the training portion of it that I just completely admire, being able to go and learn from all these different people and share what I learned. So this works really, really well for us too. So it's just the way we do it, right? All right. Well, then the last one we have here is Liz. Do you have any struggle that you'd like to get out there real quick? Or I think you kind of mentioned your struggle yesterday, right?
Yeah, just being I think just what I'm working on right now is just honoring my word to what I'm saying to people when I jump on a live. I'm going to invoice that night or the next morning, and then shipping will be done within 72 hours, and I'm kind of not doing that. I'm trying, but like there's an extra day or two sometimes that I don't ship out, and I'm like, shit.
Well, then really, like, honestly, I just wouldn't say that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I wouldn't.
I know. I've thought about kind of copying Sarah and going, oh, well, I ship twice a week. So then that way it's not like, where's my, and I think the other thing is also just continuing with the confidence in myself. I've had a few conversations with a few ladies, and, you can get a lot of customers, people that jump on and just, they try to tell you how to run your own business, and it upsets me, and I need to learn to not let it upset me, because everybody's going to have an opinion, just like a booty.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that what they are saying is great for you, so I just need to remember that I have confidence in who I am and how I run my business, and as long as I look at myself and make sure that I'm being honorable in everything that I do, then that's where I need to keep my eyes, that I am doing what I need to do. I'm being honorable with my actions, and I am running my business the way that I can run it.
Yep, exactly. And that's all you can do. So it sounds like you're on top of that. You know, and yeah, it's one of those things that you've got to, you know, you got to set your policies, and your policies and your procedures, and what works for you may not work for Dee or for Sarah, you know, but at the same time, you know, being open to different opportunities. And I personally, I wouldn't say what you're shipping or what your schedule is like that. I wouldn't say it at all until you have it down that that's the way you want it to be. And you know, right now you're in a learning curve where you don't necessarily know what is going to work best for you. So keep that open and just not say anything at all about it unless asked. You know, like, when do you ship? Well, I ship as I have the orders prepared. Once the invoices are paid, I prepare to ship, and they ship out accordingly, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a step-by-step basis. They don't necessarily have to know that, you know, you have a schedule or don't have a schedule.
Yep, that's true. I mean, nobody's really checked me on that issue at all. Like, nobody's come to me and been like, what are you doing? You know, but I think it's more my personal, because I'm like, crap, I said, you know, within, you know, so much amount of time, and now it's been a day or two later. I'm like, I really need to get this out.
Right. All right, ladies. Well, I need to get out of here because I didn't realize it was 8:15 my time. You are, you know, out here. Actually, I
It's
think it's all of our time.
9:15. It's
What's that?
9:15. It's 9:15.
Oh, it's 9:15. Oh my God, it's even later than I thought. Okay, yeah, I got to get out of here for the night, guys. But I do appreciate y'all coming in. Let's have a quick prayer and re-meet tomorrow at or let's see, tomorrow's 4 o'clock. I believe tomorrow's the 4 o'clock. So hopefully I'll have some of you come back in, maybe bring a new guest. But dear Lord, I just come to you and ask you to please just let this all sink in, Lord. Let us get the rewards that we want from this business, and let us push through this together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good night.